Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Monday. I know, it doesn't seem right to say happy Monday. It's an oxymoron, really. However, here we are. We're done with it, so we only got 4 days left. So, I hope everybody had a great day, is having a wonderful week. Let's get right into, there were 2 reality shows. Both of them taped. No, I watched one last night and I will watch the other one today. We're going to get into a recap of Love Hotel. Okay, so it was the second episode of, this is the first season. If you didn't know, it is a Countess Luann, Shannon Beador, Ashley Darby, and Giselle Bryant, and they are at the Love Hotel with their concierge, Joel, and they're trying to find love. Okay, so we started off with the fact that Jerry, you know that Luann, oh, it was into my eye. You know that Luann and Jerry went out on a one-on-one date. Luann was less than enthusiastic about how that turned out. So Jerry then rolls up on Mark. In case I didn't tell you, we know that Luann was showing some interest in Mark last week. Jerry rolls up hard on Mark because Luann asked him, Mark asked Luann to do yoga with him in the morning. So Jerry rolled up on Mark and was like, hey, just to let you know, that's my woman. I wouldn't do that to you if she was your woman, but that's my woman. So rolled straight on up. And so now Luann got two men fighting over her. She seems to really love it. Like, she's like Angela on The Office in that she loves it. She loves when 2 men fight over her. I wouldn't be a fan of that, but she loved it. So there is going to be the twist. What you have to do this week is there's going to be a group date. But listen, it's not going to be everybody on one big date. Each woman has to ask out 2 men. But here's the thing. If more than one woman asks 1 man out, then it then falls to the man to make the decision of who he's going to go out with. Okay, so they start off with Shannon. So I'm thinking, okay, the first guy Shannon asks is probably gonna be Earl. Wrong. The first man that Shannon picks is Ralph. We know she has it bad. She has it kind of bad for Ralph because she thinks he's real good looking. But then she picks Jay. She doesn't pick Ralph at all. But she says she picked Jay because she would like to talk up Giselle. She's like, she really likes Jay for Giselle, so that's why she picked Giselle. Ralph it says in his confessional, he's very honored, but he didn't feel it with her, with Shannon. He doesn't tell her that. He says that in confessional. Okay, so here comes Luann. Luann picks Mark, and Jerry, picks Mark and Ralph. You're going to see a theme here. And I thought that was shitty because, listen, Luann, it seems like maybe Luann is closest with Shannon, and Luann's picking the guy that Shannon is kind of digging. But hold up, the theme expands because Giselle is picking next. She picks Phil, but then she picks Ralph too. These women, these women aren't friends. These women aren't Shannon's friends. And lastly, Ashley picks, I thought she was going to pick Wale. She picked Nick, and she picked Jerry. I know Wale, but the reason why, she explains why she didn't pick Wale is because, and she picked Jerry. She picked Jerry as a buffer between her and Nicholas, But she didn't pick Wale because she said if Wale was on the date, then she wouldn't really get a chance to talk to Nick. And she wants to get to know him a little bit more also. I'm going to say it right now. I put damn these women, except for Ashley, they're shitty friends. Because Giselle even mentioned that she knows that this has happened to Shannon in the past. And she's like, oh, well, I'm just going to continue the trend. So who is Ralph going to choose? So Ralph picks Giselle. And Luann and Shannon are sitting there in the confessional. And she's like, and Luann saying, oh, well, I understand that Giselle is a beautiful woman. And I was expecting her to say something to Shannon like, but that's not right. That's not right. He should have picked you. You're a beautiful lady. But instead, she didn't say that. She said something like, well, he should have really picked me instead. I was like, oh, you're shitty. No, you're not a friend. You're a shitty friend. So Ralph picks Giselle. So now Shannon and Luann are going to have to pick somebody. So Shannon picks Earl, and Luann picks Wale. Not because I think she just picked Wale because Wale was out there. And she could talk to him about like Ashley. Okay, so right from the start, it seems like Mark and Luann are hitting it off. Like everything's going well, but then, wait a minute, maybe they're not, because she's kind of not feeling it because he seems like he's maybe a player, like he's only there for a good time. And that's kind of who she married the last time. Tom, remember? Please tell me it's not about Tom. It's about Tom. Okay. She didn't want that anymore. No, I'm not sure. At first, it seemed like Giselle was not feeling it for Ralph at first. But then she came around and I was like, oh, maybe she is feeling it. Maybe she is feeling it for Ralph. But then Phil started talking about, here's what won her over. Phil started talking about how he has a house in Arizona, but he also has a house out in California, and how he has a house manager and blah, 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 blah. You see what I mean? She's seeing them dollar signs. So he knows what he wants. He's well off. He's of the perfect age. So she's kind of feeling him. And here comes Earl. Okay, so with Shannon, Earl, and Jay. So Earl's real deep. He's getting deep. He's sharing about his life and his like absent relationship. His relationship with his son isn't quite so great, is kind of like non-existent. And he's opening up, and Shannon's like, I have such a comfortability with Earl. So then why fuck it up with Ralph? I mean, I get that you're on there to like play around and find somebody, but I think you've already found somebody. I don't understand why you would have to play with Ralph. So Ashley is out with Nick and Jerry. And she asks both of them, hey, have either of you dated a woman of color? And Jerry said yes. Nick hesitated and didn't answer, and then finally said no. But listen, that's here. But over here with like Nick, with like Luann and Wale and Mark, the Countess was helping Wale craft like a little love letter to Ashley. So right in the middle of Ashley talking to Nick, doesn't Wale saunter over and he's like, Ashley, here, I have a note for you. you can, and she's like, should I read it now or later? He's like, you can do whatever you like, whenever. And then saunters away. I was like, oh, Nick was like, son of a bitch. I thought that was smooth. I really like Wale. Luann's talking to Jerry. Jerry, wait. No, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so Jay goes up to Giselle. He got bad for Giselle. He goes up to Giselle, checks on, just says, hey, I want to check on my girl. And she says, I don't feel a spark. Afterwards, she says, I just don't feel a spark. Nick, after Ashley gets done reading her note, Nick pulls Ashley aside for a little one-on-one time. And here's the thing, when they're talking, I feel like Nick is a red flag because I don't understand Bitcoin, but he's like, okay, so I sell Bitcoin, and when she's like, what are you looking for in a woman? And he's like, I like a nice smile and a fat ass. And I was like, you seem like a bro. Like, you seem like a Bitcoin bro. Like, nah, no. So meanwhile with Luann, so Jerry is talking to Luann. He's like, hey, listen, I'm sorry for rolling up on Jerry. And they're talking, and Luann's already over it because he's being a little like possessive and a little needy and a little crazy. So she's like, nah, I'm over this. Now, while everyone else is talking, where's Shannon and Earl? Shannon and Earl sneak up to Shannon's room, right? And she's like, he kissed me, and I showed him my room. She's like, oh, that didn't come out right. I don't think anything other than a kiss happened, but yeah, listen, nobody's paying attention to Shannon and Earl the Pearl. Nick tries to walk Ashley. When Nick tries to walk Ashley up to the room, he thought he was going to get a kiss or something, and every single other one of the housewives comes out and cock blocks him, straight up. He didn't get anything. I love that. So the next morning, I thought it was real sweet because Shannon and Earl were walking on the beach. They were holding hands. She needs to stop her search. I think she's found her man. And also Giselle's talking about like, who was she feeling after their one-on-one date? And for certain, she's feeling Phil. And that's because of his finances. You can't tell me otherwise. That's because of his finances. So all four of the ladies are talking. And I don't know how, they're talking about houses because Giselle was talking about Phil's houses. And Shannon starts talking, and the Countess was like, please don't tell me that you'd be okay in a ranch style house, darling. Okay. The fuck is wrong with a ranch style house? You don't have to have 18 bedrooms to have love and to be happy. Listen, I don't got 18 bedrooms and I'm not in love, but I love my dog and I love my mom, but I'm happy. No, Shannon, pick a man. Shannon's like, he has a good heart. Right. Pick a man who has a good heart, who's a good guy and a decent man, has a good heart, over somebody who has a ginormous house. Okay? Because you could very well lose that house, but you'll still be a good person with a kind heart. Okay, so near the end of the show, we find out that we have a new game, and it's called the dating pool. As they start off by saying, as some wise housewife once said, your husband's in the pool. You know, that was Margaret Josephs. Your husband's in the pool. So the dating pool. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to bring in all new men. But before they do that, the women have to pick one man to keep and the other men are going to be sent home. Okay, so Luann starts off first. And I was like, she's probably going to pick Mark. Wrong. She once again shows what a shitty friend she is, and she picks Ralph. She had no time with Ralph. Here's why she's picking Ralph. She's picking Ralph because of what he looks like. That's what I think. So she's picking Ralph. But wait a minute. No. I apologize. It wasn't because of how about his looks. She's picking him because he's tall. She's picking him because he's tall. And she won't have to wear flats because she likes wearing heels and wedges. So listen, Jerry doesn't look happy, but Jerry's like, hey, listen, I'm not happy that I didn't get picked. I'm just glad that she didn't pick Jerry. Oh, he really cannot. No. Jerry's just happy that Luann didn't pick Mark. That's what it was. And Jerry really don't like Mark. So this is crazy though, because Luann hadn't even talked to Ralph. It's because he's tall. It's because of his height. Shannon picks Earl, which was no surprise. I love that. Yay. Ashley picks Wale. Yeah. But here's the thing. When she was talking, before she said who she was going to pick, she said that her and Nick were supposed to meet up at the pool that morning for a little pool date. He wasn't there. So he stood her up. See what I mean? I like him. And lastly, Giselle picks, I thought she was going to say Phil. I was really like, oh, Phil. Giselle picks Jay. She says that she picked him. Wait. She picks Jay. But before she picks Jay, she says something like, well, I was going to pick Ralph, but Luann already picked him. So I'm going to go with Jay. And Jay was like, oh, hey, thanks. Wow. That feels great. I mean, like, also, like, what? That instills, if I was Jay, that would have instilled so much confidence in me. So much. That was just terrible. She could have just said, I'm going to go with Jay, and kept that other to herself. Meanwhile, Ralph, when Ralph was picking between the ladies, he picked Giselle. He didn't have any interest in Luann. Okay. So she said, Giselle, after that, I really expected, I expected Giselle to pick Phil. Giselle said she picked Jay because she's loyal. And on paper, he checks all her boxes. Like, every box that she has there are checked by Jay. So that was really surprising. But then there was one key left, and that would go to one man. But it had to be like a vote by the housewives. And that ended up being Phil. I was happy that it was Phil because Giselle really, I mean, Phil was a nice guy. Phil didn't seem bad. Phil was maybe one of the only ones that was left. No, Phil was the only one that was left that wasn't like, you know? So next week they're going to be bringing in the new guys. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, listen, if you watched last night, please let me know and what you're thinking of the show. If nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Please be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Hydrate often with water. And if you are in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and all the positive energy and vibes out there so that you make it through. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Love ya. Bye.